All right. So today I'm going to be going over how to get set up with one of these modern JavaScript frameworks. And so I'm going to be using nomemes.com, which is my website. And this is a perfect example of what we're going to be building. So right now, this website has two servers. I have my API server and I have my front-end server. And the API server is running, it's on AWS on an EC2 instance, running Ubuntu with Node.js on the server and Express and MongoDB. But the database doesn't matter. And then for the front end, what you're seeing here is Vue.js. And Vue.js and React.js basically work the same exact way when it comes to rendering. The code is different, but this step is the same. So let's check it out. Where's my code? I have... Okay, so here you can see I have Nuxt front end dis, and there's the code for the front end, and then I have the image API. And inside, so we'll go with the API first. Inside the image API, we've got bin www, and this file basically spins up a small process running on port 3000 or whatever port you specify, and it just sits there waiting, listening on port 3000, and it serves the intro to Express generator when a person hits port 3000. And then once that happens, Express would start, building the routes, and when people go to post, get, put, delete, the routes get handled, and the controllers run their thing. And in the package.json, which is basically the same thing as like a composer file for all of your package dependencies, you've got this scripts right here that you tell Node.js what to start, like shortcuts to what to start. So if I type in npm start, it's going to run node bin ww, it's going to spin up that server, and that process is going to run. And the same is going to go with the front end. The front end has a package.json with a script shortcut, and if you're building dev, you just type in npm dev and it'll run a dev server. And if you type in npm start, it'll run node environment, set the environment variables, and then run a program called forever start. And basically forever start means keep that process alive even if you log out of the Ubuntu terminal. It's going to keep that process alive until you stop it, and then stop. So let's look on the server. So right here, this is my this left terminal, which I'll open up right here. This terminal is the Nginx configuration that I have for the API. And if you look here, I have a... Now, you guys might know more about this than I do. I don't really know Nginx very well. I just learned enough to get this running. But basically, I'm looking for Nomemes API online, and I'm setting up a proxy pass which takes in all incoming traffic, converts it to an HTTPS request, and then redirects it to port 3000 on the server. And then that server is running, so it's waiting on port 3000, and this starts to serve files as it gets traffic. And then the same thing goes for the front end. The front end, which is nomemes.com, takes incoming traffic, converts it to HTTPS, and then proxy passes it to port 3000, which is waiting, listening on 3000. So when traffic hits it, it just sends you the HTML file, which builds the entire front end. And so I'm not sure if you guys are using Apache or Nginx, but it's a similar process. You just write a proxy redirect to port 3000. And then let me do one last check here. I have to do another one. So here I'm in my sh file in my Nomemes project, which I can sh into the API or the front end. So let's do sh connect API. And connect to the API real quick, cvar www. Alright, so here you can see I have the image API and then sh. If I go into sh and vim start.sh, this is my start script, which I I mentioned I was using this program called Forever. It's a npm package that you can download that keeps process running forever. But I type this in, this script basically CDs into the image API directory. It removes the production log file and then starts up the server. It sets the environment to production, and tells Forever to start this process and create a error log. And it runs the start bin ww and then echoes out what's happening. And so if I type that in, it'll start the server and it'll just be waiting on port 3000. And if I go to SH Connect front, and I cd sh, I have another sh file. And it's the same thing. I have this sh file that cds into the Nux front end dist and runs forever start var www.nux front end dist, which spins up a little server waiting for traffic on port 3000. And as Nginx sends it traffic, it gets its traffic. And so that's all there really is to hosting one of these on our servers. Like basically, you would in our sandbox var ww QB borrow, I would have a API ILF front or I would have an API ILF front end, which would be hosting the React code base, and we'd have to spin up a little node server, we spin up a little node server, have it wait on a port, and then have Apache or Nginx just point traffic to that. So when somebody comes into Logistica, it'll redirect traffic to that directory, which is waiting on port 80, and serve up files that way. Sorry if my terminology is butchered. The server side complex stuff I don't really know that well. But yeah, I hope this helps clear things up. Thank you.